Hi everybody, John Burke here of Burke & Company, a Long & Foster real estate group and your better real estate experience. So if you had worldwide pandemic in your office pool for the reason that would be the end of the longest U.S. economic expansion in history, good for you. The rest of us did not see this coming. So obviously our major thoughts and concerns are with all of those who've been directly affected, either sick themselves or dealing with a loved one, a close loved one who has been sick with COVID. We hope that anybody who is suffering gets well, and we hope that soon we collectively, as a country and as a world, pandemic will be on the other side of this. With that being said, you're not here to get inspired by me here. You're not here for medical advice from me. If you are watching this video, it's because you think that we do know something about real estate at the southern New Jersey shore. And people have been asking, people have been wondering what is going on in real estate at the southern New Jersey shore. So I looked at three towns that are sort of the major towns that Burke & Company has worked in along the shore. Sea Isle, Avalon, and Stone Harbor. In the last 12 months, we've sold over $10 million worth of property in the Avalon, Stone Harbor area, and over $20 million worth of property in Sea Isle. So we definitely have our finger on the pulse on both of those markets, and I'm going to pitch this now. I'll probably pitch it again at the end. If you are thinking of moving up, from a little house to a big house, from the 100 block to the beach block, from Sea Isle to Avalon and Stone Harbor, the best time to move up is in a down market. So right now, buyers are in a much better position than they were even a few months ago. There's a lot of uncertainty. So if they are the courageous type who's willing to step into that uncertainty, they are usually going to get rewarded for it. We've found that sellers are much more flexible than they were before. I was joking for a while that buyers are just getting no respect in this market. You go into a house inspection, you'd ask for 6 items, and the sellers would say no. And then the buyers would say, okay, well, we'll buy it anyway. That's not the case right now. We've been fortunate collectively as a team that most of what we had under contract when this all developed did go to the settlement table. But I will say this, the home inspection, the sellers were a lot more agreeable than we've been conditioned for in the last couple of years. So major numbers in there's nothing going on by and large. There's very, very little going on during a part of the year that is historically our best part of the year. And both regionally, our company, Long & Foster, pretty regional company, stretching out of the Washington, D.C., Virginia area, all the way up towards New York City now. Regionally, locally, our office now, hands down, bar none, head and shoulders above everybody else in Sea Isle City, is the #1 office in Sea Isle City. So our office, our team, and then all the individuals, the beginning of this year, January and February, were record-breaking January and Februarys after a record-breaking 2019. So things were going very, very well. So you would expect in our busiest time of year, if this all hadn't occurred, that it would have been a record-breaking year. And I think we're on pace to that, to see some really historic price points reached and just a historic amount of volume. We've been really fortunate in our markets that people have been willing to sell because people go and buy something else. So where other parts of the country have run into inventory issues, we have not run into the same inventory issues necessarily. Yes, less than some other points in history, but not as if there's nothing to choose from. So what happened? Well, we stopped like everybody else. And in the course of April, I'm going to give you in 2019, in April, right? April 1 to April 30th, Sea Isle City put 21 homes under contract last year, 2019. Avalon also did 21 homes, and Stone Harbor did 16 homes under contract, right? So pretty good clip last year in April. This year, so it was 21 in Sea Isle City last year. This year, 3 in Sea Isle City under contract. In Avalon, there were 21 last year. This year, 6. I guess Avalon's the raging market. 6 homes under contract. And finally, Stone Harbor, like I said, 16 last year, 4. 4 so far this year. So we must be swimming in inventory, right? And prices must be dropping precipitously as we speak. Hold your horses on that. Because in general, nobody's been willing to list either. Everybody who was thinking about listing, had talked about listing, seems to be thinking, well, we're going to wait and we're going to see, we're going to do things later. So last year during the course of April, Avalon saw 26 new listings. Stone Harbor saw 23 new listings, and Sea Isle saw 30 new listings. The 30 in Sea Isle last year became 5 this year, month of April, 5 new listings in Sea Isle. In Avalon, a little bit better, but Avalon last year was 26. Avalon this year, 12 new listings, so still less than half. And in Stone Harbor, where last year they saw 23, this year they saw 2. If there was an area anecdotally where buyers got deals when this all happened, it was new construction. Developers seem to want to clear out inventory. So people who are courageous and were willing to jump on new construction have done really well so far. The next pressure point I would have imagined is if the rental season had disintegrated entirely, which we were looking at a very real possibility 7 to 10 days ago. And now, at least for the time being, it looks like that is not the case. So I don't know if we're going to see price pressure that quickly in these markets. Would I rather be a buyer now than 4 months ago? I'd rather be a buyer now than 4 months ago. Nobody would have guessed that 4 months ago. But yes, it's better to be looking to buy right now, I think, in this market than it was before. Is it an awful time to be a seller? Not yet. Certainly not yet, because nobody else has been willing to come on the market. And if you speak to agents, active agents like myself, who do a lot of business, there are a lot of people interested in buying. Are they looking to get a little bit of a deal? Yes, they are. But we've had a house go under contract this week in Sea Isle. We listed a property and got 4 offers on it about a month ago in the midst of all this in Sea Isle. So the right properties at the right prices are getting a lot of attention. There's people out there motivated to buy things, and there's just nothing for them to buy. As a matter of fact, the inventory right now might be the worst I've seen it in the history of the 7 years that I've been selling real estate in these towns. So fancy that. So if you're thinking about selling, you might be surprised that there might be a spot for your home right now. If you have any good reason to sell, there might be a spot for it. And if you're thinking about buying, I understand what it's like going into a potential recession. Everyone's concerned that if they act now, they'll find out 6 months from now they could have done better by waiting. And I don't have a crystal ball, so I'm not going to pretend that I have the answer to that question. But I will say that if I were looking into short homes right now, I would feel better than I did before, and I would be looking to pick my spot. Because if this fixes itself and turns around, you might see things get back a little bit closer to normal quicker than you might expect. So right now there is an opportunity. How long that opportunity is going to last, if somebody tells you they can answer that question, they're pretending they have a crystal ball. So I hope that was a little bit of insight. I hope that gave you a little bit of an overview. I know I talked long, but I haven't spoken to anybody in a while, and I thought I was talking about the nuts and bolts of things here. So if you are thinking buying, selling, especially that move up, we think we're perfectly positioned in a down market. The best time to move up is in a down market. Your home's worth a little less, but that more expensive home is worth a lot less. So particularly all those people, if you've been in Sea Isle, you've ever thought about going over that TI bridge, Avalon, Stone Harbor, I think the prices have come down in that area a little bit more quickly. And just by a percentage move, the gross dollars is always more when you're looking at a more expensive home. So in particular, for that move, but for all of your real estate needs and moves here at the Shore in Cape May County, we're always here to help. It's Burke and Company. I'm John Burke, and we promise you a better real estate experience. So stay safe, stay smart, stay healthy. We're wishing everybody the best, and we hope we get on the other side of this quickly. But we are open for business with proper protocols. So if there's anything you want to talk, we are here. And until then, we'll see you next time.